So let's begin taking a seated position. And you can come up to sit on a block to just lift your hips a little higher than your knees. That'll be a bit more relaxing for your lower back, taking some weight out and helping you to sit taller. If you're quite open in the hips, though, you feel free to just have your bottom on the ground. Let the hands rest on the knees. And then just press lightly down onto the knees to get really tall through the spine. Leave your chin parallel to the ground, and then just slightly draw your throat back. Gently close your eyes and send your internal gaze down to the tip of the nose. Just for the first few rounds of breath, keep your belly soft so you can really breathe deep to the bottom of the lungs, the bottom of the belly. And breathing into the belly is super calming for the nervous system. So just breathe that way at the beginning of your practice. Once we're kind of setting the scene, settling into our body, settling into our breath, letting the thoughts and the mind settle. Breathe deeply in through the nose. Breathe deeply out. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, emptying. Inhale, watch the breath as it fills to the bottom of the belly and to the top of the chest. And then exhale from the top of the chest, out of the rib cage, out of the belly. Just connecting to this rhythm of breath, this constant flow. And just imagine that the breath is a cleansing for the mind. It comes in, it searches, and then it washes out on the exhale. Start to engage your lower belly, what we call Uddiyana Bandha. So drawing it backwards towards the spine, drawing the lower belly back towards the spine. And sitting taller, you can open your eyes and take the hands behind your back, further back than the shoulders. Try not to lean back into them. You just want to be on fingertips, with your fingertips spinning towards the back of the mat. And then roll your shoulders back and puff up your chest, pushing it forwards as well as up. And as I said, keeping the belly firm to support the lower back. Make sure you're not collapsing into your lower back here. We want to really keep the lower back soft and just full movement through the upper back. Breathing in, breathing out. Chin is ever so slightly lifted. Avoid throwing the head back. On your next inhale, just come to neutral. Stay there for a breath. Inhale. Exhale. And then again, pressing down into your fingers to lengthen the arms. Breastbone, collarbone lifting up and ever so slightly arching back. And then increasing the space between your rib cage. Trying not to just collapse into lower back, belly is supporting the spine. Inhale, filling up wide into the side of your ribs. And then exhale, releasing back down. Let's interlace the fingers in front of the chest. Turn the palms inside out and straighten the arms. Firm belly. This time your back's going to be straight. So we're not trying to arch the upper back. We're just moving the arms, which they might feel a bit stiff at first. And then exhale, rounding, pressing the arms out in front of you. And again, inhale, just take it easy. It's first thing in the morning, so Your body will be stiffer than it is later in the day. Exhale forward. Inhale, straight spine, not arching. Full movement is just in the arms. Exhale, rounding. One more. Inhale, arms up. Leave them up and have a little stretch out from your wrists. A tiny little wiggle side to side. And then inhale, press up evenly through both palms. And exhale, drop the hands behind your back again. This time, interlace your fingers, pulling the hands away from your chest, finding that arch through the chest, which is a little more challenging when the hands are interlaced rather than on the floor. You haven't got that pressure to push into, so really just try to burst the chest forward enough and support your lower back. One more inhale here. Exhale, release the hands to the sacrum. And then we're going to make our way into tabletop position. So you can rock over your shins if that's comfortable, or take the feet out to one side. But just make your way into table. Hands shoulder distance apart, index finger pointing forward, toes pointing straight back. And then let's support our lower back with our belly engaged. Dip the belly and pull your chest forward through your arms. If you're feeling a lot of compression in the lower back, just don't dip the belly so much. Shoulders draw back, inhale here. And then exhaling, rounding, tuck the chin and look between your thighs. Inhaling, arching, lift the sit bones, stretch the chest. Exhaling, rounding, tuck the chin in. Inhale, rippling through the spine, loosening up a little more each time you go. Exhaling, rounding. One more. Inhale, lifting and arching. Exhaling, rounding. And then take your big toes together and your knees wide for a child's pose. Let your forehead rest on the floor and your bum close to your feet. You could take a block under your forehead if your head is hovering off the ground. Extending through the fingers, lengthening your side body as you ground your sit bones to your heels. On your next inhale, come to tabletop position. Take the knees hip distance apart. And just make sure your feet are closer to the back of the yoga mat and the hands are forwards of the shoulder. And then we're going to inhale, come forwards and sag the hips, keeping the belly engaged. Exhale, rounding back to child's pose without moving the hands. So you might not be able to take the feet back as far. Inhale, coming forward, letting the hips drop. Exhale, back. Make sure the shoulders are staying relaxed, but the belly staying engaged. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Now we're going to come all the way onto the belly. So as you inhale, come forward, and then rolling thighs, belly, ribs, chest. Tuck your chin and land on your forehead. Take the hands off the yoga mat, so wider than the yoga mat, and then forwards. So the hands are closer to the end of the mat, further forward than the shoulders. Come up onto fingertips and then let the shoulders and the elbows drop towards the ground. Stretch your fingers long. Stretch your toes long. Stretch your legs and your toes long. Squeeze your bum, push your hips into the mat. And then inhale, curl up. Just a little baby cobra so your bottom ribs stay on the ground and your belly. Exhale down, land on your forehead. And again, think of like wiggling out of your waist as you come up. Exhaling down. And two more. Inhale, wiggling up, lengthening the side body. Exhale down. Now put your hands flat and then come up and just stay for a couple of breaths. Again, make sure the shoulders are not hiking up towards your ears. You're soft through the shoulders. The elbows are heavy. You can press up as high as feels comfortable right now. Breathe in. Breathe out. Nice strong belly. Inhale. And then exhale, lower all the way back down. Bring the hands under your shoulders. You're going to press into tabletop. So engage your belly. Try and go with a flat back. Knees above the hips. And then we're going to come into our extended puppy pose. If you want a stronger extended puppy, probably not if you're first thing in the morning, but if you're doing this later in the day, you might want to take your forearms onto a block, okay? First thing in the morning, I suggest probably just have the hands on the ground, bum stays above the knees, chest starts sinking down. Your forehead might want to just come down to the ground and then bend your elbows. To go more deeply, arms are really stretching, and then perhaps chin and chest is melting down. If you're feeling sharp pains in your shoulders, you back off, you do less. You find the point where you can stay, be kind of semi-comfortable. Probably not the most comfortable of positions to be in anyway, even if you are quite mobile. But you want to be able to stay and relax. Wrapping your elbow creases slightly so they're turning towards the ceiling. That's going to broaden across your shoulder blades. Again, giving your shoulders and deltoids a little bit more space, especially if they tend to pinch here. 2 more breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. And then lift yourself back up. Walk the hands in so they're just in a tabletop position. And then we'll make our way into downward facing dog. So put the hands 1 hand's distance of the shoulders, shoulder distance apart. Tuck your toes. Keep your knees bent for this first downward facing dog. I always say that to just fully focus on the spine. So pressing down into the hands, lifting the hips, drawing the belly in, letting your chest go back towards the legs, and just leaving the hamstrings out of the equation to start with. Again, rotating your elbow creases towards, turning forwards towards your fingers. Breathe deeply in. Breathe deeply out, and then start walking your feet on the spot. Watch your heels go up and down. Have them just going at a steady rhythm, and keep that rhythm going as you tiptoe your fingers, your toes up towards your fingers. And then all the way at the top of the mat, just let yourself dangle over your legs. You can give your head a gentle shake out. And then slide the hands up towards your kneecaps on your shins. Bend your knees, firm your belly. Inhale, extend your spine parallel to the ground. Exhale, folding, drop the head. Inhale, extend the spine forward and up. Exhale, folding. And then stand all the way up. Press down into the feet. Squeeze your palms, engaging your belly, lengthen the lower back. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, letting the arms come beside you. Step forwards on your yoga mat for sun salutations with lunges. Feet hip distance apart, belly zipped in. Let's inhale, reach the arms out and up, look up. Exhale, fold down, hands to the mat, drop the head. Look forward, inhale, stretch your chest. Exhale, right knee goes back, knee on the floor. Press down into the left foot. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Just pause in your down dog for a moment. Settle, ground through your palms, ground through your toes. And then inhale, roll forwards into plank, shoulders over wrist. Exhale, make your way to your belly or to chaturanga, holding your push-up. You can go via your knees or one line. Inhale to your back bend, cobra, or up dog if you feel ready for that. Squeezing your bum, lifting your knees. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward, left knee to ground. Inhale, reach the arms up. Look up at your thumbs. Exhale, hands down, left foot forwards, fold into your legs. Inhale, arms reach out and up, stretch up, look at your thumbs. Exhale, arms beside you. And again, inhale, arms reaching and stretching overhead. Exhale, folding, soften the knees if you need. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, left leg back, knee to ground. Push down into the right foot. Inhale, belly firm, stretch the arms up. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift and roll forwards to plank. Exhale, lower down, either to belly or hovering in your push-up. Inhale to your back bend. Lift the gaze parallel to ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale, stretch and reach the arms up, lifting the waist out of your hips. Exhale, hands down, right foot forward, fold, drop the head. Inhale, stand all the way up. And exhale, release the arms beside you. So we're going to repeat that, but we're going to take our lunges with our hands interlaced, just for a breath. Standing, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, look up. Exhale, fold down, hands to the mat and drop the head. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, right leg, big step back, pop the knee on the ground. Keep your chest low, interlace your hands behind your back, and then pull yourself up using your hands, pulling back to your heels, breathe in. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forwards to plank. Exhale, lower to chaturanga or your belly. Inhaling, back bend, curl your chest up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward, left knee to ground. Stay low, interlace your hands. So keep your chest on your thigh to start with, and then pull your hands back as you inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down, left foot steps forwards and fold. Inhale, stand all the way up, reach the arms up. And then let's just fold all the way back down again. Look forwards, inhale. Left leg back, knee down, exhale. Stay low, hands interlace. You're looking at the ground, tuck the chin in. And then peel yourself up. Chin is the last thing to lift. Exhale, back down, hands to floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Torso comes down in a straight line, whether you're going via your knees or without the knees on the ground. Inhale, curling up, back bend. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Left foot forwards, right knee down, stay low, look at your left big toe, interlace your fingers, and then inhaling, peeling your body off your thigh. Exhale, folding back down, hands to floor. Right foot forwards, inhale, look forwards. Exhale, fold to your legs. And inhale, stand up, reach up tall. And then exhale, just let the arms come parallel to the ground. Feet are still hip distance apart, you're really grounded. Make sure there's still weight in your toes so they keep anchored to the floor. Belly firm, and then sit back into your chair pose. So there's this bending at the hips, lifting of the sit bones, bursting up of the chest. Again, keep your tummy supporting your back. If the back feels a bit tense, you could have a tiny tuck under of the bum. Keep stretching through the fingertips, dropping down through the shoulders. Breathing in, breathe out. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, fold over bent knees, interlace the hands behind your lower back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then pull the hands away from the back, stretching them towards the floor over your head. Not saying they're going to go to the floor. Give your head a little shake out whilst you're here. And then we're going to flow in and out of chair and this. So you're going to bend the knees more deeply. Inhale, lift into chair, arms parallel to ground. Exhale, folding hands into lace, knees stay bent. Inhale, knees bend more deeply, arms extend. Exhale, knees stay bent as the arms reach overhead. One more. Inhale, arms extend, chair. Glutes really fired up now. Exhale, folding hands into lace. And then you can release the hands to the floor and just step back to your downward facing dog. Good. Strong arms, hands are shoulder distance apart. Okay, from here, stretch your right leg up in the air, bend the knee, heel to bum, three-legged hip opener. Push a little bit more into the left hand to rotate your chest to the right as if you're turning upside down, looking under the right armpit. Stretch your right toes towards the back of your head. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, step the right foot all the way up to your right wrist, so behind the hand. For a softer variation of this sequence, you can just pop your left knee on the ground. Otherwise, we're going to come up into high lunge. Once you're steady and rooted through your feet, extend your arms up in the air. If you feel wobbly in your feet, just make sure they're not tracking on a tightrope, that they are hip distance apart. Your front knee is above your ankle. Your front glute is really switched on, hugging to the bone, holding you here. Arms are pressing back towards your ears. And then turn the palms to face forwards. Right hand's going to hold the left wrist. Side bend over to the right. So you're opening from the left hip all the way to the left armpit. If it's pinching in the shoulders, just bend the elbows or even bring them a bit further forward. Remember, I said you can pop your knee on the ground at any time if the sequence feels a little tough. Breathe in, expanding that left side body. Breathe out. Inhale here. Exhale here. Now inhale, come up to center, stretch the arms. Firm up your belly, start to twist your chest to the right, separating the arms to the front and the back of the mat. Thumbs point to the ceiling. Get your bum a little lower so you're really still deep in the lunge. And then potentially, if it feels okay for your neck, look at your right hand. Look at your right thumb. Big breaths. Spinning your rib cage. Your right rib cage is really leading the way in this pose. Okay, we're going to come down into a lunge twist. So you're going to pivot your left hand to the floor and the right arm up in the air. And then wiggle your stance a bit longer. It's easier to get longer once hands on the ground. Stretch that right arm up in the air. Push down into the left hand. Hugging your right knee in, noticing it wants to flop out to the side, hugging it into the chest. And then either a side plank variation or a full side plank on the left side. So I'll just pop into the variation, left knee on the ground, left shin spins off, right leg extends. This is a bit more supported. Those of you feeling full of energy and strength in the shoulder, stack your feet, lift the hips up. Breathe in, breathe out. And again, inhale. And then exhale into plank. Hold steady for an inhale. And then exhale, chaturanga or your belly. Inhale to your back bend. Squeeze your bum, press into your hands to lift the chest higher. And exhale, downward facing dog. Or pop into child's pose for a little rest on those arms. And to catch your breath. Notice how one side of your body feels now compared to the other after that one-sided sequence. How's the breath doing compared to when you started this morning? Okay. Taking that sequence on the left side. So you're going to stretch up into a three-legged dog, left side. Raise the left leg up in the air. Bend the knee, heel to bum. Rotate your chest to the left as if you were turning yourself inside out to the ceiling. Left toes reaching to the back of your head. Head dangling. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, step the left foot behind the left hand. Quiet landing. Make sure you're steady on your feet. So if you need to widen or shorten your stance, please do. Left knee directly above the ankle and come upright. Once you're ready, you're steady, rooted through your feet, then take the arms up. Concentrate your gaze. Keep it at a single point straight ahead of you. Notice if your eyes start to dart off and look at anything else. And that can affect our balance. So if you are wobbling, notice where your concentration is. Belly supported. Turn the palms to face forward. Left hand holds the right wrist. And then arcing over to the right. Sorry, arcing over to the left. Keeping the gaze straight ahead. The head just moves with the rest of the torso. Just really feeling this stretch where it originates. Maybe the front of the right quad, the side of the right hip, and then all the way up the side body. And these side stretches are brilliant for deepening your breath. As we lengthen, we'll then be able to sit taller, taking weight off the lungs and the slouching. Okay, inhale, come back to center, stretch both arms up and start to look to the left, twist to the left, stretch your arms to the front and the back of the yoga mat. And then can you sink a little bit lower with your hips and then twist a little further, looking at your left arm. Notice if one arm was easier to see. Breathe in. Breathe out, inhale, and then exhale, pivot your right hand down, your left arm up. Feel free to take the hand to the hip if being up in the air is a bit much for the shoulder. And then can you get into a longer stance so your bum is closer to the ground? Spread your right fingers wide, ground into your fingertips, plug the arm down, and then also plug the right shoulder blade towards the spine. Side plank or the variation on the right side. So variation is knee on the ground, foot kicks off to the right, left leg extends. You're still working the obliques and the arm. You're just a bit more supported there. There's not so much weight. Or you can stack both feet, which is quite a bit stronger. Breathe in. Breathe out and try and banana, right? So you're not sagging like this, really arcing through the side body. One more inhale and then exhale, left hand to the floor. Inhale into your plank. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, back bending, point your toes, squeeze your bum, lift your chest. And exhale, down dog. Opportunity to rest it out in child's pose for a couple of breaths, or just hold your dog. Maybe down dog is a calming, resting pose for you. Okay, raise your right leg up in the air, inhale. And then look to the left and kick your right leg underneath your left arm over to the left. Straighten the leg, come onto the outer edge of the foot. So option one is like this. Your just chest is facing the ground, you're on both hands. Option two is fallen triangle, where you roll onto the inner edge of the left foot and then stretch the left arm up in the air. Okay, and then the last option, a little tough, pull in your belly, plug the leg in, and then engage pelvic floor, possibly lift the leg. Breathe in, Breathe out. Inhale, keep the leg lifted. Place the left hand on the ground. Stretch the right leg up in the air. Breathe in. And then exhale. Step the foot forwards to a lunge. Okay. Option to pop the back knee on the ground if you need. And then coming upright with the torso. So we're going to go through a few options here. So option 1 is knee on the ground. Option 2, you're just going to stay like this. Hands can be in prayer or overhead or holding opposite elbows, okay? We're going to start to pulse the back knee off the ground. But if you've got delicate knees, you probably just want to stay put. Firm up your belly. As you exhale, hover the left knee forwards and down. And then inhale, straighten both your legs. Exhale, bending both your knees, hovering the left knee down. Inhale, straighten both your legs. Now you either can hold steady, continue with that, or you're going to keep your right knee bent as you straighten the left leg and bend the left leg, and straighten the left and bend the left. It hurts in a good way, as long as it's not hurting your knees. 2 more. Ooh, last one. Let the left knee come to the ground, everybody. Hands on the floor inside your right foot. Walk the right foot wide, turn the toes out at an angle. Slide the left leg further back. Good. Okay. Go as long in your stance as you can. Untuck your left toes. So point the left toes, the foot's relaxed. Start to wiggle and rock a little side to side. We're going to move into potentially a quad stretch. You might need to lengthen your arms or give them a little bit of extra length by putting your hand on a block. Okay, that does help reach the foot. We're going to twist to the right, look at your left foot, right hand reaches for it. You can tap a couple of times just to check that you do want to hold the foot this morning. You're not going to get cramped. And then if you can, if you want to, you hold the foot. Direction 1 is squeezing the heel in towards the bum. If you can do that and your arm starts to bend, just take a moment in that deep stretch, but then kick the foot into the hand to open the shoulder more and spin your chest more towards the ceiling. Great. Lovely, Joyce. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out completely. One more time, inhale. And then exhale, release, and come into side plank or side plank variation again. So right leg extended, left knee on the ground if you're taking the variation. Otherwise, full side plank, feet stacked. And then moving into wild thing. So bending the top leg, placing the foot behind the other knee, reaching that arm overhead, looking up towards the ceiling. One more inhale here. And then exhale, just gracefully come into your plank. You can rest it out in child's pose or take a vinyasa. Your vinyasa, lowering down all the way. Inhale to back bend, squeeze your bum and belly. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in here. Breathe out here. Inhale. Exhale. Three-legged dog on the left side. So raising your left leg up in the air. Bend the knee, heel to bum. And then look under your right arm to the right. And thread the left leg over to the right. Under your body, the left leg straightens. You come onto the edge of the foot. Now, if it's super tight, you might have the feet a bit closer together. Over time, you're drawing the left foot further up towards the right hand. Option 1, stay here. Might be a big enough stretch on the outside of the leg as it is. Option 2, rolling onto the inner edge of the right foot, right arm up in the air. Really press down through the left hand and the fingertips. Pull in your belly, pull up your pelvic floor, plug the leg into the hip, and then option to hover the leg. Look at your left big toe. Breathe in, breathe out, inhale, and then exhale, bend the left knee, right hand comes to the floor, three-legged dog, left leg stretches up in the air, and then step the left foot forward to the left hand, high lunge. Or low lunge with knee on the ground if you want to take it a little bit easier for knee joints. Okay, if you want to go a little bit further with your arms, you can take reverse prayer behind your back. That might feel too strong, in which case just hold opposite elbows or stretch the arms to the ceiling. Remember, you can just stay put here, or we're going to start to pulse. Go slowly, check in with your knees, make sure they're communicating good things to you. Hover your right knee down. Inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, hovering your right knee down. Inhale, straighten both legs. Now, option to keep the left knee bent as you straighten the right leg. Exhale, bend the right leg forwards and down. Inhale, straighten. Two more. Oh, it bends. It's hard. And then you can just lower that right knee all the way to the ground. Release the hands, place them to the floor inside your left foot. Walk the left foot wide, turn the toes out at an angle, and wiggle your right leg further back. So left shin stays vertical above the knee, above the ankle, rocking a little side to side. Just slowing down a little bit after that. Those pulsing lunges, letting the heart rate settle. I'm going to walk the hands slightly forwards of the shoulder. It'll just make your right wrist feel better, and it'll give you, like, once you start to loosen, you can push the hips a little bit more to the ground. So make sure the right hand is slightly diagonal to the shoulder, twisting to the left, look at your right foot, and then just tap your heel to your hands and drop it back down again. I always like to do this because I do often get cramp in my hamstrings from cycling a lot. If you feel okay, you're going to catch hold. Great, catch hold. Squish the heel into the bum. Breathe in, breathe out. And then if you've got a bend in the elbow, kick the foot to straighten the arm and arch back. You see how I can open my chest and make this into a back bend of the upper body as well once I kick the foot into my hand. Okay, let go of the foot and make your way into either your full side plank or the variation. Again, hand is still ever so slightly forward at the shoulder. Those of you in your full side plank, pull the belly in, bend the left knee, come onto tiptoes, and your foot is really trying to reach as far back towards your head as it can. Chest faces the ceiling. Left arm reaches overhead, right leg is straight. So you're pushing powerfully into the edge of that right foot. Push your hips up higher. One more inhale. And then exhale, release the left hand back to the ground. Come into plank. Take a child's pose break or vinyasa. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump your feet to the top of the yoga mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come into chair pose. And exhale, straighten the legs. Okay, we're going to take an arm variation in our chair. You can take just traditional hands in prayer. You can hold opposite elbows, or for the most challenging, hands in prayer behind the back, which kind of, it starts with just fingers going together, and to press the hands closer, you wiggle, it's like a shark fin, Wiggle the hands up the back until you can press the hands closer. Don't force it. If it feels uncomfortable on your wrist, back off. You need to use your hands for the rest of the day, okay? So make sure you're not going to have wrist pain there. Press the elbows back, firm up your belly, and then just slowly, very slowly come into chair pose. This is quite a bigger stretch for the shoulders like this. Pressing the elbows back, gazing ahead, breathe in, breathe out, inhale, exhale, and then inhale, straighten the legs, gently drop the arms and roll the shoulders. And you're going to need a strap for the next one. So grab, if you have an actual strap, grab it, or a scarf or something long. Okay. If you've got a strap, just make sure you're holding the buckle in one hand so it's not going to fling around and hit you on the head. And then straighten the arms, straighten the strap, but see, hands are wider than the shoulders. We're going to do some arm rotations here. Feet hip distance apart. Even though we're working the arms, we still want to be solid and grounded through the feet. Belly engaged. Pulling on the strap. Inhale, just take the arms up above the head. And then exhale, bring them back down. Okay, so not trying to go any further than that right now. Inhale, arms up, getting the inner arm stretch. Exhale, arms down. And then just see if you can go 2 inches further. Arms up, and then they just go a couple of inches back of the shoulder. Exhale down. If you're really struggling with that, pull the strap a little wider, give yourself more space. Inhale, arms up, stretching back. Oh, it's a lovely kind of armpit, pec, bicep stretch. Keep going. Some of you, if you're a bit more mobile, you might feel like going all the way back towards your bum, keeping the arms straight, and all the way forward. Personally, I just like to have the strap tighter, and then I can't go back, but I get a bigger stretch on my pecs and my arms. But if you prefer just rotating, go ahead. Really depends on what's going on in your body, how your body's been through your life. I really need this inner arm pec stretch. Your joints might just prefer the full movement. Just take a few more rounds if you're moving, a few more breaths if you're holding. Maybe it's time to just shorten the strap. And then release the strap and just drop the strap, close your eyes and hold still. And observe what's going on in your upper body. Okay. We're going to make our way to lay on our belly. So you can either just drop down and lay on your belly, or you can take a vinyasa to get there. I will take a vinyasa. So would inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, fold down, hands to floor, drop the head. Looking forwards, inhale, step or jump to plank, and then lower all the way down onto your tummy. Okay, let's come into Sphinx pose. So you're on your elbows. Elbows are under shoulders. Fingertips point directly forwards of elbow creases. Forearms pressing down. Fingers spread. Okay, and then firstly, just lift one leg and stretch it longer. Lift the other leg and stretch it longer. Make sure your big toe and your little toe are touching the mat, and you're really trying to press your top of your foot all the way up to your ankle onto the mat. Press into your elbows to lift your belly as much as you feel you need to. If you feel uncomfortable in the lower back, lift the belly higher. And then shoulders draw towards the hips, and you're tractioning your chest forwards towards your hands. As I said, if this is uncomfortable on the lower back, just lift the belly higher. Right now, I'm doing it a bit more core engaged, just for an example of those of you that do have back pain. Over time, you can let your belly relax as and when your lower back opens. Shoulders pulling down, chest bursting forwards. Breathe in, breathe out. And then anyone that feels like they want to go further, you could come into seal pose, straightening the arms. So palms press down, arms straight, and then naturally the shoulders want to rise up. Drop them down. Keep your belly in. Again, just make sure your lower back really wants to be here. One more inhale. And then exhale, lower down. Let the elbows come to the side. Bring one palm on top of the other. Rest your forehead onto that. Bring your big toes together. Heels turn out to the side. And give your hips a little rock and a wiggle, side to side. Bring your hands beside your rib cage, kind of further back than the shoulders. Elbows are bent. Forehead on the mat. We're just going to come into Cobra, lifting the hands. So squeeze your bum, press your legs down, hover your chest, and hover your hands. And then come up as high as feels okay without just tensing up the lower back. If you feel like it's too strong, just take it lower. Keep trying to lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Neck is long, so no need to look ahead. I would look more down. One more inhale here. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Bring one palm on top of the other again. Big toes together. Heels drop out to the side. Again, give your hips a little wiggle and a rock side to side. Okay. So we're going to do some work with the strap again on our belly. So I'd like you to take your strap. Again, hold the buckle in one hand, so it's not going to fling around. Arms are wide, arms are straight. Strap is between them. Same action that you always have in your prone back bends, that engagement of the belly and squeezing the bum and pushing the hips down. Make sure all of that is going on. And then you're going to hover your arms off the ground. Just hover the arms only. Widen across your upper back. So make sure your elbows, the joint of the elbow is rotating towards the ground to give you more space. And then lower the arms back down. Okay, this time we're going to optionally add in the head. You don't have to if it feels too strong. Again, make sure so you're not lifting elbows up like this. This is an exaggeration, but there's a rotating of the elbow crease to the ceiling, the elbow joint to the ground. It's just going to give you more space across the upper back. So lifting the arms and then maybe lifting the chest, which really doesn't come up as high as it would if you had the hands beside you. Great. One more inhale and then exhale, lower back down. Take the strap a bit wider and then bring it all the way over to your sacrum. Or maybe it goes, if your arms are longer, it might be a strap on your bum. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to lift the strap off the back and then we're going to lift the chest. Just holding here, this time squeezing shoulder blades towards each other. And then you're going to bring the strap overhead, and as you bring it overhead, obviously you let go of the squeezing and you bring the head back down. So we're going to do that rotation. Arms stay straight. Take the strap longer or shorter, whatever feels appropriate. Keep your lower back supported by pushing the hips into the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Strap goes to bum. Exhale, strap goes overhead, forehead to ground. Inhale, strap lifts to bum. Exhale, strap overhead. Now, you can just keep your head on the floor if you just want to isolate the arms and not involve the lower back. Take 2 more. 1 more. Oh, your shoulders are going to be really happy today. Maybe they're not happy right now, but they will be happy for the rest of the day. 1 palm on top of the other. Rest your forehead down. And then just roll over onto your back. Okay, we've got a little bit of time for a wheel if you want to take it. If you don't want to take wheel, you can take either active bridge, like so, with the arms down, or you can take bridge with the block on the sacrum. That's nice and relaxing. You can rest onto the block on the sacrum if you've got one, and just chill out. Those of you, if you're taking wheel, hands beside the ears, fingers turn slightly out. I would lengthen your feet slightly away from your bum, firm up your belly, and then lift the hips on your inhale. Really nice. As we've done a full back bending class today, you might feel that this back bend feels deeper than others that you take at the end of just a general yoga class if it's not a focus on the back bends. Good. And then make your way all the way down. Take your strap again and step your right foot into it. Keep your left knee bent. So we want to focus on just the lower back sinking down. So avoid straightening the leg because it arches the back slightly. Left knee bent, foot on the floor, right leg is in the strap. Don't worry about how deep you go here. It's more about straightening the right leg. So if it's at a diagonal, that's fine. Let your lower back sink down. Try not to push and have a lot of effort here. More of a sense of like melting and grounding. And then if there's more movement, you could pull the leg in closer towards the face. Make sure it stays straight. And notice the connection of leg to lower back. That's why I do this pose after back bends. It's just a really nice way to release from the lower back without actually taking like a seated forward fold, which we can end up rounding a bit there. Keep your drishti, your gaze up at your right big toe. Try and let everything else become out of focus. Each exhale, just letting the back body be a little more soft, melting a little bit more. Okay, let's change up the legs. So you can just step your left foot into the strap and then place the right foot on the floor. Right knee is bent. Left leg is straight. Strap around the ball of the foot. Pull the leg in. Walk the arms higher, grounding your lower back. Pull slightly down on the left side of the strap. Press a bit more up with your left big toe. And again, just notice the connection of the left leg into the lower back. Hopefully you're feeling that actual stretch and release through the lower back. And just keep working on making the breath longer and fuller. Allow your belly to be soft now. And if the leg is releasing, you can start to pull it in a bit closer. Each exhale, just more and more grounding from the lower back. Okay, let's remove the strap. Place the left foot on the floor, both knees bent, feet and knees together. Stretch the arms out to the sides of the room. And then slide your bum over to the left, your bum and hips over to the left. Drop the knees to the right. And then kick the feet off the mat so your legs at a 90-degree angle. Press into your arms and the back of your head. Can you lift your right shoulder blade off the ground and then rotate your rib cage more to the left and then look to the left? If that feels too strong, just shuffle back to where you started. If the knees are separated, mine always tend to in a twist. You can just pop a block between them so that top leg feels a little bit more grounded. Breathe in for as long and as full as you can. And then bring the knees back to center. Place the feet down. Shift your bum to the right and then go even more to the right. Let the knees drop down to the left. Arms are parallel to the ground. Press into the back of the head. Lift your left shoulder blade. Spin your rib cage a bit more to the right. And then look to the right. And then come back into those really deep breaths. You're seeking, you're searching out space in your body. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. Exhale. And then come back through center. Shift your hips back to the center. Remove the block. Put on some extra layers if you need to stay warm. It's a bit cooler. Once you're wrapped up, extend out your legs. Legs a little wider than the hips, so legs are out at a V. And then just draw the shoulder blades down the back. Lengthen the back of the neck. Palms open. And then just lengthen your lower back a little bit. Let the legs be floppy. And let your whole body sink down into the ground. Just make any small adjustments you need to so you can be completely still for the next few minutes. Continue to watch your breath. But just let the breath go back to its regular rhythm now. But watch it. Watch it start to shorten naturally. Notice the sound of the breath becomes much quieter. We just stay focused, stay inquisitive on the natural breath, because this is the breath that we have with us throughout the day. Most of the day, we're not breathing, we're not changing the way we breathe, we're just letting the breath do its own thing. We want to start to become more aware of the subtle, natural breath, because as you know from this practice, the breath is the meditation aspect. The breath is what helps us be more present. So if we can become just aware of our regular breath, we can spend our days being more present. So rest, focus. I will wake you up in a couple of minutes. Let's begin to deepen your breath. Become more aware of your active breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Take your knees into your chest. Roll yourself over to the right side. And then push yourself up to a seated position. Cross the legs, take the palms together. Sit really tall. Drop your shoulders. Breathe in, lengthening all the way to the crown of the head. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And then as you breathe out, take a forward fold, take your fingers to your forehead, giving thanks to your body, your breath, and this practice. Namaste.